Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Loading my dishwasher up. If I can get a few more people in here, I got a few things to say and not be muted and kicked for money. Talking about real things. But that's one of the problems on here. You can't have a real talk. It's got to be souped up so somebody can take it over to their platform and make a show out of it. Mock it and go buy costumes and tell people that other people take accountability. Social accountability and corporate accountability, business accountability, like if you have a job or something, it's totally different. Accountability, the definition, it's not really a set definition. But definitely owning a mistake and then keep repeating the mistake is not accountability. That is definitely not accountability. That is definitely not it. Definitely not it. And then have the audacity to tell someone else take videos down, shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. So they can run the show. They'll handle it. And don't even know who they're talking about. And then people seem to forget. Oh, hang on. Let me get me some. Oh, hang on. Let me get me some soda donut flat. But anyway, I got you four in here. I'm not very popular anymore. I guess since I quit covering Mallory, I'm not much of a use to people anymore. I remember back in the day, I used to try to help people. I'm not going to say names. But someone was after, I'm going to say Mallory. But someone was after Mallory. They were feuding, of course, if you know Mallory. And she was wanting people's help to gather video evidence, of things that happen on TikTok so she can take her to court and all this and that. Because, she felt so strongly and she wanted to help people. Well, all that got dropped. And nothing came of it. But which it's understandable. I mean, who wants that headache to deal with all of that? But, there were people there to help her. I've been around a while. I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot. I try really, really hard not to hurt anyone. And I do feel, for as long as I covered Mallory, it ran its course. And I think, and I feel that, I feel this is, I went too long about it. I went too long. I'm done. I mean, I feel I'm done with that. I mean, 2 years, I mean, that's long enough for me. I wish everyone the best. I just wish everyone could get along a little better. I mean, I thought this is what we wanted, was to have him incarcerated. But the very day he was put in jail, what happened? Everyone started turning on one another about who are we going to cover tonight? Who are we going to talk about tonight? And then want to make, those people look bad for poking back. You're allowed to be poked, but you're not allowed to poke back. That is. I was even told that they have every right to say and do whatever they want because they live in the United States. Well, honey, Sweetheart, so do I. And so do I. And so do a lot of other people. And a lot of other people live in places where they have rights to. And if you're so worried about your image, maybe do better. Instead of telling people how to run their platform, right? I was told a long time ago, when somebody moderated Florida Man, platformed him for months and months. I was told I did not have the right to tell her how to run her platform. And I wasn't trying to tell her how to run it. I was trying to tell her how it was hurting a group of, I don't feel a victim because there weren't things done to me in the capacity that it was done to others. I don't feel enough was done to me to be a victim, but it did traumatize me. That list traumatized me, and her and co-host want to sit there and cry, why didn't anybody cover Florida Man, right? I was covering Florida Man. When he made that list, where was he platformed during that time? What alliances were made at that time? Right? So I was fighting two alliances, right? For the right to be able to say I was done wrong, and then get ridiculed and pushed and poked and gaslit and told, basically, I didn't have a right to feel that way and that I should just roll over and take it. Right? Roll over and take it. That's the attitude with some of these platforms. You do what I say and what I want, or else I'm going to have my attack dogs do what they do. Right? I'd like to know how many people are scared of this particular platform. That brown nose, that go in there and, a bunch of yes men and yes women. The kind of people that love to hop around in boxes constantly and is in everybody's box that they think that's going to make them look good. All right? Like here I am. But as I was getting at, host and co-host want to cry about the things that was done to them, right? Things that were said about them, videos that were made about them. I had videos made about me. I had things said about me. Way back when Florida Man was sitting with you, when you was joking and laughing, kumbayaing with Florida Man and all of his people, right? While people were terrorized for their children, terrorized for their children, where a list was made. Hang on. Millie! Millie! No. Okay. A list was made, a hit list, that said there were no limits as to what he would do. And they want to cry about the red stuff. Well, that's what that meant. No limits. Limits. Right? No limits plus some. Plus whatever they had going on. But that was okay then. I wish Florida Man was covered then. I wish the people that went to, well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it because it's very important. I wish the people who went to Smashley about Florida Man was heard, instead of being pushed and poked and made into entertainment, right? Now I understand the hustle. But when is that hustle done gone too far, when it starts affecting people's mental health, their physical well-being, because they're scared somebody's going to drive up and burn their house down, right? Or possibly go by schools and you know. And here's another thing. How long has Smashley known Florida Man? She's known him a hell of a lot longer. Than most of us. I believe I've heard her say he was one of the first people that she knew on here. So she knew what Florida Man was about and his capabilities. She knew. That's why people were ignored that went to her. And then she wants to cry. Then she wants to cry victim when she decided to turn that table and unfriend him, and then decided to start poking him. And those are the consequences. Of poking a bear, thinking you're going to win. But not all bears are the same, are they? You were able to push me around. You were able to push everyone around. Especially when he sat with you. Didn't feel so great when that table was turned. And he had no right to do what he done. No right. I mean, everybody knows that. He knows that. Children should never be weaponized. And both of them done that. Done it to each other and done it to anyone around that they were opposed to. that caused them conflict, that gave them a problem. So, is that a self-made victim right there? A self-made victim for the sake of entertainment, to have something to do every night, every day since that person was incarcerated has been non-stop. So now they go after his friends, right? Poke them, push them. When is it going to stop? I mean, do you want everybody off the app that you don't like? Do you want me off the app? You know, Malibu telling me I sit over there. Where do I sit, Malibu? You know, Malibu. You know everything. Where do I sit? Because I'd like to know. And where should I sit? Who should I talk to? How should my post be? What should I be posted on? Who should I be covering? Right? Who should I be covering? Not you. Not taking accountability. All you do is deny. If you could just say, hey, I messed up. I did wrong. I could accept that, Malibu, but you won't ever. You will never do that. You know what you done. That's all you got is to deny it. Because you know what you done. And that's pretty much a coward. Not taking accountability for what you done. You know, try to get by on technicalities. You know. But morally, you know what you've done. And luckily, it wasn't the real thing. Thank God. Not for you. So how is it that a group of Millie, stop. That a group of people, what do you want, baby? Do you want a hot dog? How a group of people that platformed Florida Man can go around and police everybody of what they can post, what they cover. It's like they're basically saying, I do what I want, I say what I want to say, but you don't have the right to. You've did more bad things than me, so you don't have a right to say anything about anything. I mean, somebody, there's some people getting too big for their britches. Thinking they know everything when they know nothing. Come into a situation that they know nothing about. Got burned because they stuck their nose in a situation they should have never been in. When is the entertainment going to stop? And to the point, to the point of when you realize there are human beings on the other side of that poke and gaslighting and semantics and you know all of these things, right? I get made fun of for the way I talk. I get made fun of because I'm old, which is fine, which is fine, which is fine, which is fine. But I wish even people who insult me in real life, we are still able to hold a conversation because we're adults. I tried to have a serious conversation, but couldn't. Context is key. Context is key. But even when you put all the context in there, they still get pissed. Still get pissed. So I don't know what they expect. Do they expect people to just sit back and do whatever they say? Well, if I was like them, I could. If I was like them, I could say they don't have a right to say anything about what was done to them because they let that man sit with him and sat back and watched that man do to everyone else, but ended up doing the same thing to them. So where's the slap in the face in all of this? I've been saying that forever. But you like to take away from other victims and other people what happened to them. And apply it to yourself. There were more victims than you, Smash. There were more victims than you, Malibu. And I wish that y'all would have covered him instead of backing him up. Lola, wait. What? The girls are killing. What is it? What are y'all fussing for? Stay out of that cat food. No. But I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to say that they don't have the right to say that they're a victim. I'm not going to say what they should and shouldn't do, because I did the same thing. No one deserves their children being gone after. No one deserves after. No one deserves their jobs to be gone after. But it was okay when he was sitting with But it was okay when he was sitting with them and they was sitting back watching it while they say and do nothing. Isn't that being complacent? Isn't that being complacent? Isn't that what that is? But all the while saying, I don't condone it. I get on to him. I get on to him. There was more things done to me than you. But at the end of the day, right, Malibu? You had a video made on you. A disgusting video, I'll admit. I had disgusting videos made on me. But who cares about me, right? I was one of those people that y'all ignored and pushed around and poke. And all you do is lie, Malibu. I crashed out because you liked one of my posts. Well, that's because I knew what you were doing. I knew what you were doing. You were poking the bear. That's what you were doing. And then you wanted to lie about it. You are a straight up two-faced liar. You wanted to lie about that. One version, I wanted to show you support, so I liked your post. And then next post, and then next version, I didn't even realize who it was, and I liked her post before I knew, and I wasn't going to take it back. So which version is it? Huh? A lie is a lie. No matter how small it is, it's a lie. It's a lie. No way around it. And then you want to gaslight people. Oh, they're crashing out. Oh, they don't have any right to make a fuss about me liking their post. After everything, after you ignored me, after Smash ignored me, and many others coming to her about Florida Man. Coming to them, both of them. Well, I didn't go to Malibu, but and as to be so childish as to have a group of people to attack for you. To attack. Maybe if you're worried about your image, about how people see you, because you're not going to be able to change how people see you unless you change your behavior. That's how people grow and learn to be a better person, right? You can be a better, right? You can be a better person and still have a T page and still provide entertainment. You can still be a good person. Good person. Have lines you will not cross. Florida man, he threatened all the things. But did I retaliate in the same ways? No. No, I did not. No. No, I did not. Do I go around saying uh uh F all the if you mess with my kids, I'm coming after yours? No. No. I would never do that. I would never do that. And then people want to look the other way or pat on the back. Oh, it's justified. On the back. Oh, it's justified. It's justified going after kids, retaliating against another adult, an innocent child. I understand the logic. Thinking that you are justified in doing the things that you're justified in doing the things that you're doing. Aren't you? Or I mean, vigilante justice is vigilante justice isn't always, it's definitely not legal, but it's not always correct either. You know, you know, the word hypocrisy, people are sick of hearing that word because there's so much of it going around. There's so much of it going around. They're sick of seeing somebody holler hypocrisy when they're doing the same crap. Now people don't even want to say it or call it out because there's everybody's doing it. Everybody wants to think that them being a victim is more important than somebody else being a victim. Well, smashing them. They think they're more important. And they're lucky. They are very truly blessed and lucky to have a support system behind them that helped them with Florida Man. But what about the people that came to smash? I was one of them. Because, I thought she might want to do the right thing. For another human being that was threatened with their own children. I was scared. I was very scared. Still am. But I learned If you don't poke the bear, which I really didn't poke Florida Man, but if you talk about him, just like I'm talking about you right now, Smash, I know there's going to be some flack over it. Nobody wants anybody else to talk about them or stream them, but that's what everybody does. If he stays in there for a length of time or gets out tomorrow, I do not want any beef with that man. I do not. And I hope, for the sake of himself and everyone else around him, I hope he doesn't do the things that he was doing before. I hope he changes his ways. I really do. Because, let's face it, we have no idea what evidence they got. We have no idea about anything. We have no idea when he's going to get out, or if he'll get any time, or anything. But the moment he got arrested to go after his people, hard. And I'm not saying, talking smack. There ain't nothing wrong with talking smack to each other. But antagonizing people and not knowing, I mean, it's just going to start all over again. It's already started all over again. It's just that he's not here. You would think people would want to rest a little bit. Leave each other alone for just a little while. But that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I mean, he knows what he done. I know what he's done. And so does everybody else. And no, he has never took accountability because he keeps doing it. Now, if he gets out, and if he stops doing those type of things, that's accountability. In case anybody, somebody needs to research that. Look up, the varying definitions. Yeah, they need the drama because they need the money. Or claim they don't need the money but want the money. They definitely want the money. They might not need it. Girls, come on now. The babies. The money, the clout, attention seeking. And then, like I said, what burns me up the most is them crying. about being a victim, but ignored people coming to them. Give me. But there's a lot of people that just want to ignore the fact that people came to smash about that, and then want to make somebody else look bad because they're mad at them because they got caught red-handed being in a chat doxing people. And I want to explain how I think it's worse. Because I made a video that says worse in my book. They are worse for the fact they platformed him, watched him do some of the same things, if not all the things to other people. And then when they decide that they're done with that friendship, and then when they start getting attacked, they want everyone to help them. But all the while they ignored so many people. That is what makes it worse. And there is the slap in the face. I was never really awareness or tea or but I've seen a lot. And when people do those type of things, I think it's worse. They want to watch victims or they want to watch people get treated the way they are treated, and then and do nothing about it when they could do something about it, and chose not to. Are you hot? Here. Come on, let's put your fan on. Come on. Sorry, I got dogs. But yeah, that is why I feel and said that it's worse. I mean, I don't even know how to describe. I mean, double standards. It's different when it's me. It's different when it's me. Who cares about you? Who cares about you or your kids? I don't have a problem with him. He's never done anything to me. So, but here you are, crying. But you have every right to when no one else did. He's been doing this stuff or he was doing this stuff for a long time. Long time. For a long time. Long time. I mean, I'm not saying that, of course. I'd be insane if I didn't say that the things, Florida Man was doing was wrong. But why can't, but why can't other people admit that they done wrong too? About this situation. About this situation. And then make a show out of people who are trying to tell them, hey, they want to say, I wish Florida Man was covered when he did or this. What was going on at that time? What was going on at that time? How many people were on your side? How many people covered him? How many people took up for you? How many? And then you say that? You say you wish somebody would have covered Florida Man? Why wouldn't you holler about covering him back when he sat with you? Because I always kind of thought that's why they didn't. Because y'all were friends. Y'all were friends. You and Mrs. Homie was friends. That's why. I never had anything bad to say about it. I respected that relationship. But we're seeing how you treat people that gave you respect and friendship. You don't hear me calling them out, telling them that how wrong they are by not covering Florida Man. Right? No, what was wrong was him sitting with you and people coming to you. I don't care if you're an awareness page or not. T-page, doesn't matter. You take all of those labels off, and what's left is what's left. And that's what you done. You done. You can try every excuse in the world. Well, I'm T-Page, yada, yada, yada. I do not care. Does not matter. What was done was done. Hang on. I got to get my glasses. But anybody can come here, and if you want to talk, that's. Let me see. Yeah. There for a while, people were gave him grace, gave him a chance, and there for a while, he was pretty much, not being a terrorizing buffoon. Yeah, a lot of people gave him a second chance, and I'm all for second chance, and I'm all for second chances. At least Petty did kick him, and but I'm sorry that happened to you. Um, but I was one of those people that went to Smash back in the day. But who cares, right? I'm just a loudmouth old lady. And I actually have, respect for other people. Respect for other people's friendships and things, and even friendships that don't exist anymore. I have respect for those type of things. So I just wonder why Smash don't ask why Florida Man wasn't why he wasn't covered when he sat with her for so long. Why? She'd be saying something about it then. That people has no right to tell her how to run her platform. When just last night somebody was told to take videos down, told that they'll run that show. They'll cover that situation. Yeah, Queen, I mean, a lot of people, and I understand, people get hurt because people get hurt because people gave him grace at times, and everybody deserves grace. And sometimes you just gotta let things go and move on, and I just, I mean, it is just appalling to see people that think they're more entitled to be treated a certain way, to be put on a pedestal, and no one should have anything to say about their behavior. I mean, that's part of, I think, why Florida Man did so dang much. I mean, it was like a snowball. He just kept going, and also it kept escalating. The retaliation only causes escalation. I mean, it was a back and forth thing between him and some people. I got to where I'm like, I can't do this. He is driving me crazy. I mean, I had to go to therapy because of him. I told him that. I'm like, look, you scared me when you made that list. And I chose for myself to quit covering him. I just don't want no part of that. Anyway, at this point, I've put in my time on covering him. I'm not doing it no more. I'm not covering Mallory anymore. I'm done. And that does not make me a bad person. Doesn't make me a good person either. So, oh, hang on.
Hey,
Hey, good morning.
good morning. Yeah, I held lives on Florida Man back in the day. I went at him hard too.
Well, you know I did. I mean, me and him had a knockout, drag out, girl. I mean,
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. Like he never did. So he never did say anything back to me when I was, because you know why? And it wasn't because we were friends, because we wasn't friends at that time. It was because I spoke nothing but the truth when I spoke on him. I didn't lie. I didn't involve his kids, his family, or none of that. And at the time that I was calling him out, that's when he was sitting with, Virgo, Samantha, and all of them were sitting with him, and I was still sitting with Petty. So I mean, like there was, that's the difference. Like I didn't make up shit. On him. I didn't any of that. So, and I went at him hard. I went at him hard.
yeah, you sure did. I mean, I said some things I shouldn't have said, to him, and I'll apologize about that. Until I can't no more. I should have never said some of the things I said. But I was mad. I was scared. but I was mad. I was scared. I mean, it's no excuse, but that's just, part of being able to apologize for doing things that you shouldn't have done or said, even though you were scared or, what have you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. All right, hon, I'm gonna hop back down to the comments. I gotta start getting ready for work. I just want to come up here and say it because I did, I know a lot. I did, I know a lot of people that called him out,
Yeah,
and had
lots of
lives on
people.
him, and like there was a difference. There's a difference than calling him a P3DO, bringing up his kids, bringing his family into stuff. That there's a difference. When you do stuff like that, you get a reaction, right?
Hmm.
So, I just, when I held lives on him, I used his own words.
And that's the
So,
best thing. And that's the best thing you can do is, use other people's words. They can't hardly, say
yeah,
anything
yeah.
counter to that because they said it.
I know, Lady Di. I'm so sorry for your loss, honey. All right, I'm gonna hop back down in the comments. I gotta start getting ready for work. But
All right.
yeah, I just want to come up here and say that there's a lot of people that held lives on him that are now friends. Like, yeah, me and him are friends, but I held lives on him, and we wasn't friends when I held lives on him at all.
Yeah. All right.
All
Thanks,
right,
Queen. And
you're
you have a
welcome.
good day.
You too.
Yeah, lots of people have covered him at different points in time. So, and the retaliating it doesn't help. It doesn't help. It only makes things worse. It only makes things worse. Yeah, Guardians of Valor. I mean, there are people, watching him. And I'm so very proud. But he definitely needs to be gone after. That's one of the people. Certain people just want to completely ignore. That man came in at a time when people was in desperation for acknowledgement of what was done to them, and gave money for that. And he tried to scam everyone out of that money. Millie, I'm proud you're feeling better. I wasn't feeling good yesterday, nor wasn't. There he is. Guardians of Valor. That. I mean, who knows the people who contacted him because, he was promoted as to be trusted and what information did he receive? How many victims did he accumulate? Because of that? Because he left. He deactivated, and then he came back. Yeah, he's very dangerous. Just because, he's not Freddy Krueger doesn't mean he's not dangerous. Right? Right? Um, but I think people should be able to talk and speak without the fear of a whole group coming at them and attacking them. And low-key threatening them. Why can't we just talk? Why can't we say our opinion, and have our own thoughts?
Millie Pug better.
And have our own thoughts and feelings without being attacked for them. Made into entertainment. It is not entertainment when it's done went this far. How can it be made into entertainment when there's people that have been just so beat down, mentally, and tell them they don't have a right to have thoughts or feelings or opinions on anything. Because of what they done. And the person telling them, these type of things, telling them, that they don't have the right, doing some of the same things. Right? And somebody sitting in a chat where doxing is and says nothing. And then gets upset with everyone because they got caught. Hang on, I'm just going to have to go strangle Loki. Leave your brother alone. Leave him alone. But everybody should have the right to say and feel. If Smash has the right to say how she feels. I mean, what is she going to do? even do? Because she doesn't, like what anyone has to say. She going to send people over to that person to tear them down? Does she do that? Does she let her chat tear people down? Does she dogpile people? Does she? Is she also guilty of letting people? Is she also guilty of letting people fight her battles? That's just me. And anyone, I stand on my own. I stand on my own. I don't want anyone taking any flack of being associated with me or anything. If she's got something to say, it's just me. It's just me. And it's been that way for a long time. I don't need anybody to back me up. I don't need a whole group of people to tell me, you do no wrong. You did what you had to do. That's no excuse. That's no excuse. I mean, look at the people. If they want to talk about people have no rights to say or feel, or look at the people that was in that private chat. I just don't know. I just wonder if it's going to be the same excuses of why she didn't cover Florida Man. Back when he was doing all of those things to other people, as to why she didn't cover him, or why did she stand by, people that he affected. Are they going to be the same excuse? Are they the same excuses she's applying to people she thinks that should be covering him now? She thinks that should be covering him now? She holding them to the same standards that she held to herself back then when she didn't do it? Back then when she didn't do it? The reasons why? And the sad thing about that is the people that were affected by Florida Man were left out in the cold. With I mean, because I was told back then not to tell people how to run their platform. But now, today, because pretty much same situation, just different people. And now, people are being told to take videos down, and they don't have the right to cover that person, that story, that situation. Well, they have just as much right, more so, in my opinion, because they're standing, that their past behavior. Even back then when I went to Smash, when Smash didn't cover them, or the homies didn't cover Florida Man back then, right? I'm not pointing fingers of somebody trying to cover a story. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? The story needed to be told. About that private chat. That's the only reason why all this is, come about. The only reason why they were told to take videos down and how to run their platform is because friends got caught. And no matter what angle you look at it, Smash looks bad for it. At least, I wasn't told to take my video. Down because I think it was worse. I think they're worse. Considering all the hypocrisy. They're worse. Every last person in that private chat. They did not care about the end result because it wasn't their children. And that just gave them more motivation I mean, to drag innocent children into to adult drama, weaponizing them. I mean, that's low. I mean, and at least, well, not even at least. This is a major tell sign of the homie's character. They don't turn profit. Don't turn profit on any of it. They don't make a penny on anything they cover. Because they try to do the right thing. They don't do it for profit. They don't do it for entertainment. They want to contribute to the community. And I respect that. And I like how when it's not Shannon, I think she told who was that she? I can't remember. I was half asleep. I think it was Mallory that she told she wouldn't hurt. I can't even say it. I've said that. I can't even say it. I've said that word a couple of times, but I just can't say it no more. I'm not going to say it. But the SLAVE word. Why does she say that? That was allowed. I thought that was. I guess if Malibu can't say it no more or won't say it no more, to make jabs at Mallory, she's going to have other people to say it for her. When it didn't even happen to her. I've said this many, many times. Me and Mallory was going back and forth. Mallory was some kind of pissed at me. And she said something she shouldn't have said. And I don't think... Lola, leave him alone. I know, Kitty. But... where was Lola? That's his food. You leave him alone. I got food aggression going on. But Mallory was some kind of mad at me, and she said things, out of the heat of the moment, and I don't think she meant it as racist. She just said it because she was mad, did it because she was mad, and people took offense to that, and for good reason. I mean, it was offensive. It was offensive. And I'm not taking up for Mallory. She should have never said it. But Malibu was offended. So she came to me. I'm like, okay, I've told this story a million times. And then guess who forgave Mallory for saying it? Malibu did. Then a couple of years later, she wants to use it as a jab. But she forgave it. Did she quit unforgiving it? I just think with Florida Man being in jail, should be a time for healing, to be able to just breathe, for a little while on any side, no matter who you are. Just for a little while. Maybe just for one day, everybody just quit talking about him, and mind their own group's business just for one day. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, he's in jail. I mean, and now here we are crying about, well, why didn't you cover Florida Man way back? Well, why didn't you cover Florida Man way back then? Blah, 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 blah. When people came to you about covering Florida Man because of things they were doing to him, or he was doing to them. It just blows my mind. I really try to understand why people do the things they do. Because they're a human being. Because I don't do some of the things, and I try to understand it. Well, happy birthday, Ashley. There'll be no birthday songs here, but happy birthday. Oh, I was accused of being somebody named Pink Eye. I'm not Pink Eye. And I think that was discussed publicly. So maybe that's how I knew. Anyway, there was a lot going on. I was talking to three individuals. And for one, I would never name one of my sneakies pink eye. That is not my style. Pink eye. That is not my style. That is not a go-to type of name for me. It's gross. And I'm not the kind of person that sits around talking about getting in people's derrieres either. So you have a good day too, Spicy. I'm just yapping. I just don't understand why the crying now about Florida man being covered. And he's in jail. Why now? I mean, it's a little late. Just trying to understand it. Yeah, Kate. I got him. I think that's the first time I ever muted anybody. But I think anybody should have the right to be able to say how they feel about situations, even if they've messed up. Nobody's perfect. I was even put in that position. They tried to tell me I didn't have a right to say anything. Well, let me go digging around on you to see if you've got anything that you've done so we could say you don't have the right. So we could say you don't have the right to think and feel the way you do. Even though things were done to you, you don't have the right to have a voice. Right? Yeah. People are becoming afraid of smashing that whole group, just like they became afraid of Florida man and his group. It's not on the same level, but it's close. It's close. Nobody wants to be doxxed. Nobody wants their family and their children put in public view. Nobody wants their children to be contacted. Nobody wants their children spoke to from anyone from this app. Nobody wants that. Nobody needs that. Now, let's say if you witnessed somebody doing something they shouldn't have been doing. or a child or an animal is getting abused or something like that, then yeah, those type of things need to be reported, and that's what you do. That's what you do. But as far as calling CPS on people out of retaliation, even if now there was a situation where a Florida man was making fun of somebody, and CPS got called on a good mother. She's a good mom. Bottom line, a good mama. Now, me being a free thinker, me having my own thoughts and feelings, I can understand both sides there. I can understand the person who called, and I can understand the person that was called on. Why she felt upset, because it should have never been done. CPS should have never been done. CPS should have never been called in that situation. But also, that situation should have never happened. Never happened. Or should have never happened. Cause and effect. What caused them to call CPS is in direct relation with the situation. Still not right. Shouldn't happen. But there's a reason why it happened, though. If people wasn't pushing and poking and being cruel, it would have never happened. But they pushed and pushed and pushed until it did. And it's not the mama's fault. It's not the mom's fault. I'm not saying that of why CPS was called. But the fault lies within the behavior of, just cruelty. Cruelty is what caused that. Retaliation caused it to escalate into something worse. Retaliating makes everything worse, most of the time. Everybody should have CPS called on them. I can only imagine how I would feel if CPS had, got called on me, but I cannot imagine how it makes that child feel. But nobody cares about the children. Right. I mean, it's been said, F everyone else's kids. Should have never happened. Ain't that right, Mama? You're a good mom, too. That shit should have never happened to you. That shit should have never happened to you. There is a dang. I only had one hand bone, and everybody is just. Oh, hang on. You don't want to go back outside? Come on. Come on. Let's get some good energy going. Good. Go, big boy. Love you. Love you too. Hey, Bubbles. Yeah, Kendra. Hey, Bubbles. Yeah, Kendra. I mean, things go too far because people get in their feelings. They're so self-absorbed. Their feelings are more important than a child's. So, I've been doing good. Doing a lot better. I mean, every now and then I still have one of those. I mean, I think everybody has days every now and then. How have you been doing, Bubbles? How have you been doing, Bubbles? How's your mom doing? Lord, the neighbor's dogs. Lord, the neighbor's dogs. My dogs, the neighbor's dogs. Hang on, I'll be right back. I got to unpack of children. Got to unpack of children. Oh, those were the good old days. Used to have a pack of children. Now I got a pack of dogs. And then my dogs get upset about the neighbors' dogs because the neighbors, I live on top of a hill, and then my neighbors down the road, they live on top of a hill. But I can see their dogs coming down their hill, and I see them coming. And here they come, and they'll get at the edge of my driveway, and then my dogs, they're like, they'll start barking and everything, and like they're going to do something. And then next thing you know, they're all down there playing in the middle of the road. I live on a gravel road. Playing in the road. Then I got to go down there. Make everybody go home. Bubbles, I hear that treehouse. Boy, that treehouse causes a lot of feelings in people. Oh, Bubbles, I'm sorry. That's right, and that's why it causes a lot of friction with some people. You got your own thoughts and feelings and opinions, and you can't be having that around here. Unless you're brown nosing, you shouldn't be doing it. That's right. Yes, somebody was, I forget whose live I was watching. At nighttime, I'm half asleep. If not asleep, most of the time. And I forget who I seen. I forget who and where. But somebody was saying, I came from the tree house. It was trying to do the isn't this a saying here, it's been going around, doing the big one, trying to do a big one. So, like, Lord. Maybe 2-3 years ago, that would have been a big one. Back when a mod would leave somebody and then go to another platform. I mean, that was a big thing. Yeah, Bubbles. I mean, and that's another thing. People need to remember that we all come onto this app, we all come onto this app because I don't know if it's not necessarily a need. It's not necessarily a need, but it's a tool for many to help enrich their lives. I mean, I'm older. Um, my my kids are grown, doing their own thing. Um, so I got a lot of time on my hands. So I do find this, enriching, but also I have to take a step back every now and then. Yeah. I mean, everybody's got a reason to be on here, and what reason to be on here, and whatever reason that is, it is a-okay. What? I'm not there yet. I can't believe I made it this far. I'm 50. I'll be 53 this year, so. Once I had hit 20, that was the day I cried. No, I was definitely no longer a kid. No longer a kid. No longer a teenager. So, but 20, I cried. 30 came around. 40, 50, 40, 50. Has never affected me the way turning 20 did. So, turning 20 got to me. Turning 20 got to me. Yep, spicy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why people are trying to, cause trouble for the treehouse. I don't see it anywhere, because it has nothing to do, whether I like or dislike or, I get overstimulated when there's a whole lot of, something going on, if I'm in this chat or that chat and all these chats are coming through, onto my phone, I get overwhelmed. I learned that a long time ago. Oh, Kendra. Oh, Kendra. Why 25? Is it because it's a quarter of a century? Is that why? I'm a half a century years old. I'm a bicentennial. Ain't that what that is? I'm sorry to be laughing like a hyena. But you'll be okay, I promise. Oh. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, baby. You're going to be okay. Baby. You're going to be okay. Oh. Oh, spicy. I ugly cried too. I did. Thank God I was by myself. Oh, sorry, I'm not. Do you guys want up here or? You guys want up here or? I'm going to hit the accept. I'm going. Flex, do you. Flex, do you want up here or spicy? Oh, Lordy. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to feel about 60. I mean, 50 didn't. I'm going to feel about 60. I mean, 50 didn't affect me, and I thought it would, but it didn't. I know I'm still going through menopause or whatever, I guess, because it really affected my ears, and my ears still itching, and I went through uh, menopause in my early 40s, but I think I'm still having the effect. I wonder if that goes away. I haven't asked my doctor or anything, but it gets bothersome sometimes. It gets bothersome sometimes. Well, the older you get, I mean, the doctors start listening to you. The doctors start listening to you better. Then you start getting the good stuff. I can go to my doctor and say, I want this, this, and this, and he probably this and this, and he probably give it to me. Because it's been a few times. I'm like, no, doc, I don't want that. No. Let's find something else. Because some of that stuff, and I hate going to a new doctor because they'll want to start messing with what you already got going on. the whole repertoire, or whatever, rapport, whatever you call it, the doctor-patient relationship. Mm, mm. That is a block. No, no one will be coming up in here flying that flag. Might as well had a picture of Trump up in there. Okay, Spicy, you have a good day. Thank you, Spicy, for being here. Okay, I'll follow you back. I'm not big on following people back nowadays. I unfollowed almost everyone, and then people thought I was, had them. And people thought I was, had them blocked or whatever. I just, and that was way back when, I was going to do something different on my page. But where am I? Where did I end up back? Bye, Spicy. You have a good and safe day. But I just, and I just got the feeling, people were scared to say anything, and for good reason. Concerning some of the current issues going on. And I wanted to explain of why I think it was worse. Those people were worse in that private chat. I mean, until I see change, how can my feelings change? I mean, if there's more of live and let live go on, and not make entertainment out of being cruel to someone, then okay. Yeah, I'm not mad at anybody. I still love everybody. I just, Loki, stop. I'm gonna have to throw that dang bone away. Can't nobody have it. Y'all can't take turns. I can't afford to buy. I can't afford to buy 5 bone-in hams. And who has the time to eat that? Much ham so y'all can each have a bone? I don't. No, I just took everybody off. Because I don't know. It just seemed like things were different after what Smash did to me, about the white van. It was her platform. It happened there. I don't know. That took a toll on me. But yep, genuinely toxic. I'll agree with you there. I just like, what happens on the app stays on the app. Whatever happened to that? I'm having a good Monday. I hope you are too. The weather's nice. Trees got their leaves on. And now I don't see my neighbors now since the trees got their leaves. Because I basically live in the middle of a little mini forest. I was thinking about going fishing today. I still got to. I gotta go get my fish. I gotta go get my fishing license. I'm late this year. I done missed crappie season. Well, which all year long is crappie season, but around end of February, early March, they're coming into because it'll rain and everything's flooded and they're coming out of the rivers and everything, going into these smaller ditches and things, and you can sit there right at a culvert and catch one right after another. I don't like fish. I don't eat them, but most of my family and friends like eating fish. So when I go crappie fishing, I'll keep them and hand them out. Oh, it's nice. I really do. I'm lucky. nice. I really do. I'm lucky to have what I have. Me too, brown eyes. Me too, brown eyes. I was thinking about getting a goat too, actually. You can't hardly get one without getting, so you got to have two so we don't get lonely. Yep, crappie is good. And it's, I know this is ridiculous, but I don't like fish. I don't like fish. I don't. But now, if I go to somewhere like Arby's, or now I like an Arby's fish sandwich, and I like a Sonic's fish sandwich, but McDonald's, I think it should be illegal for them putting that piece of cheese on there. I cannot stand a McDonald's fish sandwich. Yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, I ate a lot of catfish, and because we grew up, um, um, and things like that. And my grandma, she could wring, you know, two chickens, two chickens, one in each hand, and I come from that, so living off the land and such. Living off the land and such. I eat lots of catfish. I've had my fill on catfish. Maybe that's why I don't like fish all that much anymore. That's the first. If I'm hankering for a fish sandwich and McDonald's the only option I got, I get mad every time I go through that drive-thru because I know when I say no cheese, more than likely I'm still going to get that dang piece of cheese on there. And what I'm guilty of is slinging that piece of cheese out onto their little bushes sometimes. That's awful. I know. See, I'm a terrible person sometimes. Terrible. So if you ever see a piece of cheese slung out on a bush somewhere, I could have been around at some point. Oh. And I know they're busy. I know. I don't ever say nothing to them about it. I'll put my order in and just hope for the best. And deal with it. Oh, I love cheese too. Just not on my fish sandwich. Yeah. Those little sparrows usually get it. As soon as I throw it out there, usually one or two or three or more, here they come. Here they come. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I would say that's fair. Being lactose intolerant, can put you in a predicament. If somebody slips that cheese in there. Thank goodness I'm not intolerant. So I love milk and things. Yep. Yeah, my sister's got it, and she'll ask me, if I cook so. What did you put in there? Da, 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 da. She's got something else too. It's not IBS. It's not IBS. It's something. It's kind of like IBS, but it's something else. I don't know. Hell, we're all getting old. Can't keep up with everything. But she's got something. Milk and things really bother her, along with the lactose intolerance. You have a wonderful day too, Bubbles. I don't know. I can't remember what. I'd have to ask her. I'd have to call her. I haven't called her in a few days. Good morning, Loopy. Bubbles, if you're still listening, I hope you get to feeling better. I didn't catch what. Was, wrong. But I hope you get to feeling better soon. That could be it. I know it really bothers her. Yeah, she's got a lot. Yeah, she's got a lot of abdominal pain. A lot of the times, she'll call me. Oh, I'm hurting real bad today. It's every day. She hurts every day, but some days are worse than others. Oh, I'm so sorry. Bubbles. Yes, you got that, girl. I know I get heartburn really bad every now and then. Back in my mid 20s, my it's not my doctor now, but the doctor then told me I had ulcers in my mid 20s. And there I had to go like 2 weeks on a liquid diet. I was on some kind of medicine, and that was when Prilosec was $30 a pill. That's when it first came out. That's when it first came out. And I'm like, look, doc, $30, that's a grocery bill practically for a week. You know, I can't per pill. You know, I can't per pill. I can't do that. Just gonna have to suffer. Yeah, yeah, yep. But thank goodness, nowadays I can get that, over the counter. Over the counter. When it used to be prescription only and $30 a pop. And they got all kinds now. But thank goodness, all I got to do is really, what you want to eat and, stress levels. I've been managing that since, my mid 20s. Yeah, that has a lot to do. Well, not a lot, but it does, affect it. It really does. Really does. Um, I got arthritis real bad, and the doc told me, don't gain no weight. I mean, that's a battle right there, right there. So, but this year, I hate to admit it, I've probably gained. Uh, this year's been pretty bad. Well, some of it from last year, but, but the end of last year, I just, depression, just things like that. Just things like that to cause you to gain weight, let alone, physical ailments. And I've gained probably about 15 pounds, probably up to around, I haven't weighed myself in a long time. The last time I weighed was probably a good 6 months ago. Probably a good 6 months ago. And I was around 145 then. So I'm not, I'm not too worried about it. That's one of the things about getting older. You stop caring about stuff like that. You stop caring about stuff like that. But I may start caring if I start gaining any more. But I just wanted to get on here. To air out some of my concerns and the double standards, the double standards, the slapping people in the face, and and all this kind of stuff. There was a lot of slapping going on when Florida Man sat with Smash, and she ignored people. That was my main objective. Um, um, to get that point across. And what right does anybody have to tell another person to take videos down and to tell them how to run down and to tell them how to run their platform and to tell them they don't have the right to cover a situation, but they do. But they do. So I just found that just preposterous. Just ridiculous. Anyway, I hope anyway, I hope everybody has a good day. And just don't let none of this stuff on here, get to you. Get to you. And if anybody has any concerns or anything like that, and you don't want to be the one to say it, and if I feel that it should be said, you can always come to me and say, hey, I'll say it. I think I've earned that right. I've been around long enough, and nobody's going to tell me any different. I don't go around trying to make money off being cruel to other people for entertainment. So. But I hope everybody has a good day.